Check, check. I am checking my microphone. I am continuing to check my microphone. I am of the feeling that my microphone sounds just fine. Good evening and welcome to the stream. Tonight I'm going to be flying leg 5 of 7 of my Thanksgivingmas in South Carolina Travel Tracer Tour. I've given the spiel quite a few times now, but basically I'm tracing a trip that I took recently, and this will be the first leg of my 3-flight return from McCormick, South Carolina, back to Champaign, Illinois, where I live. This flight is between Augusta Regional Airport and Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta. It's not a very long flight. It says 20 minutes here, but I bet it probably takes me more like 45 by the time it's all said and done. In reality, I flew this in a CRJ 900, but I do not have a CRJ 900 in my catalog, so I'm kind of choosing something that's somewhat similar. Cessna Citation CJ4. I have applied the recently released Microsoft Flight Simulator livery. Not that that matters all that much. I have my tail number. I always use the same one. It's the plane that I soloed in, which is really a Cessna 172, but I just use it for any plane that I make. And this is actually the real flight number that I flew back on December 8. For weight and balance, I pretty much just maxed everything out. If you go to a 75% payload, you need 100% fuel to balance the center of gravity, so it's a very heavy citation for what that's worth. It's still not a CRJ, but I figured that gave it a little bit more realism, and I'm dealing with quite large runways anyway, so that should not be an issue. I am starting from... And actually, let me change that. I don't really want to be at the fuel box. I'll just go to... It's kind of weird. There's no... In reality, there are gates at Augusta Regional, but in the game there aren't. So I'll just go to parking 1. Hopefully that won't be too bad. Direct departure. This arrival, in reality, my path kind of came more up here and then kind of went down and then looped up here. But I tried all the different arrival routes and I couldn't find anything that matched more closely with the flight that I actually took, so I'm just going with this one. I did in fact land on runway 27 left, and I'm doing all IFR high altitude airways. That's basically what I did in real life, and I have everything set up for ILS, so I should pretty much be using localizers and not really controlling the plane manually much at all until I'm right above the threshold. On that day, I do remember when I came into Bloomington Regional Airport in Illinois, it was completely overcast, and I actually have a video of that I might play if I have a few minutes. I'll definitely play it on my next stream. That's going to be my flight from Atlanta to Bloomington. But basically I was completely in the clouds until just at the last minute. But between Augusta and Atlanta, it was not quite that cloudy, so I went with broken clouds. Like I said, this flight was on December 8th, and actually my departure time was 10:20 a.m. So I'm going to set it to 10 because I figure it's going to take me a few minutes to start the plane from cold condition and taxi out to the runway. So there I am. That is the setup, and yeah, let's get into it. And I just realized that you could not see any of that stuff on my screen because I had the wrong, the wrong camera set up there. Why did it do that? It's never done that before. Okay. I apologize. This is going to be this is some technical difficulties right here. Okay, so something strange has happened because it's not capturing the right display any longer. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it on game capture instead. And let me just make sure it's capturing the sound correctly. My concern is that it's going to capture the sound through display capture and through audio output capture, or through game capture and through audio output capture at the same time, but I'm not sure. So I guess, as always, if it seems like there's an issue, please do let me know. It's really hard to test this kind of thing while you're actually playing the game. So here I am in the CRJ. I think, as usual, I'm going to go ahead and let the AI control my comms. Once I get into that, go ahead and pop it out, put it on my other monitor, and I will run through my startup checklist. Okay, the parking brake is set. Power levels are idle. Generators are on. Battery is on.
System test.
Avionics is to dispatch mode.
Clearance delivery Cessna November 75649er ISR to Atlanta, ready to copy. Cessna November 75649er is cleared to Atlanta Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 26 climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure frequency is 128.1 squawk 6636. Cessna November 75649er cleared to Atlanta Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 26 climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure on 128.1 squawk 6636. Cessna 649er, read that correct. Contact ground on 121.9er.
It's funny, it doesn't mention anything about lights until after you have the engine on, but my understanding is that you are actually supposed
Augusta
to
ground, Cessna November 75649er requesting pushback.
at least turn on your beacon while you're starting your engines, just to alert ground crew that you're going to be doing that. Pretty much any time the plane is undergoing any kind of operation, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to have your beacon on. Turn off my parking brakes so they can push me back. Turn on taxi lights. And nav lights. Don't need anything else right now. And wait for the pushback. Engine starting checklist is complete. Everything looks good here. No warnings. I see my flight plan is in, which is good. And yeah, should be good. I gotta climb and maintain 10,000, so I can actually go ahead and
requesting the
dial
end of
that in.
pushback.
Cessna November 75649er request to end pushback received.
I want yaw damper on. I will want nav mode
Augusta ground,
on.
Cessna November 75649er with
that.
India ready to taxi IFR.
Cessna November 75649er taxi to and hold short of runway 26 via taxiway Bravo Charlie, cross runway 35 Charlie. Contact tower on 118.7 when ready.
That was a close call right there.
Taxi to and hold short runway 26 via taxiway Bravo Charlie, cross runway 35 Charlie Cessna 649er.
So I'm cleared to cross 3-5, and I obviously have the ribbon on, so I'm not going to be able to clear that plane. I think I missed. Actually have, looks like a few people at this airport right now. Maybe not. No, they're far away. That guy's really here though. Cadet R. Oh, Cadet Rhombus, I guess. Yeah, I really don't remember the exact weather on this day when I left Augusta, but it definitely wasn't clear. So I think this kind of broken cloud setting is pretty much about right. Now what I don't know is that guy coming toward me? No, he's just taking off. Perfect. And since I'm crossing a runway, I'll flip on my logo lights and landing lights and strobe. Actually, don't need landing lights. And there he goes. And now that I've crossed the runway, I can turn off my strobe and logo lights. I'm looking down here. I thought usually these V numbers were populated, but they're all zeros right now. I wonder what that means. Once I take off, I'm pretty much just going to fly runway heading, and once I have things stabilized, I will hit the autopilot switch and I'll be off. It's going to be a pretty straightforward takeoff, I think. Hold short at the active. Get my clearance.
Augusta Tower Cessna November 75649er ready for IFR departure runway 26. Cessna November 75649er cleared for takeoff runway 26. Cleared for takeoff runway 26 Cessna November 75649er.
So I'm cleared for takeoff and taking the active, taxi lights off, landing lights on, strobe light on. I don't see where that 172 went, so he must have headed pretty much straight out and gotten away from the airport pretty fast. I have one notch of flaps ready for takeoff, and I am ready to go. 10,000 is dialed in. Yeah, nothing else to say. Here we go. Half throttle, let it stabilize, and takeoff speed. I believe rotate is... it's 130. Don't remember exactly. Positive rate, gear up. And flaps up.
649er, contact Atlanta Center on 128.1.
Engaging
Going to
autopilot.
128.1 Cessna 649er. Atlanta Center Cessna November 75649er is at 1,500 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
Cessna November 75649er, Atlanta Center, continue as planned. Altimeter 29er.9er2.
Oh, there he is. There I go, right into the clouds. So, just keep an eye on things a little bit here. Headed toward 10,000, climbing very quickly, plenty of speed to do so. Flight director's on, headed right toward my flight plan, that's good. Flaps are up, engines are running, starters are off. Tax lights are off, beacon nav and strobe are on. I'll probably turn my landing lights off at this point. Seatbelt sign still doesn't work. It's a bummer. Gear is up and locked. And everything is good to go. And there we go, punching above the clouds. Oh, as long as I'm thinking of this, I did see an article. I've been kind of noticing the clouds are like a little bit pixelated. And I did see an article saying that that could have to do with your anti-aliasing settings. So I have it on TAA, and there's DLAA, FXAA, and off. So why don't I try, I don't really know what these mean. Why don't I just try FXAA real quick and see if that helps. That does not. That did not change anything to my eye. So let me try the other one. The DLAA, apply and save. And resume. And that again looks exactly the same to me. So let me try turning it off. Oops, apply. Resume. And yeah, that's the same. So I don't know what the deal is there. Could just be an issue of not having a good enough GPU. But I'm just going to leave it on what it was before, since I can't see a difference. And here we go. Getting right on our flight plan nicely.
Cessna 649er climb and maintain 16,000 feet.
Overspeed.
Climb and maintain 16,000 feet, Cessna 649er.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
I have an overspeed warning, so I'm slowing down quite a bit. Order to climb to 16,000. FLC on. Should be climbing. But I'm not. I don't know why, but sometimes the FLC mode just does not work in this plane, so instead I will use vertical speed mode and punch up to maybe 1,000. It should be fine. As usual, it's hard to tell where your throttle is, so I'll come down here and make sure it's on climb.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Expect RNAV runway 26 approach via Beckhawk transition. Clear to Beckhawk. Envoy tree 460 or 70 miles west. Descend and maintain 2,100 feet. Expect ILS runway 29er approach via Vicos transition. Clear to Vicos.
As usual, there's a ton of people flying around Atlanta, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the nameplates just because it just kind of looks silly to me. Kind of takes me out of the realism when I see all those nameplates from forever away.
Descend and maintain 2,100 feet. Expect ILS runway 29er approach via Vicos transition. Clear to Vicos Envoy tree 346.
Atlanta Center Allegiant 412 is out of flight level tree 50 for 10,000 feet.
Envoy 416 tree, contact approach on 119.15. Allegiant 412 Atlanta Center, continue as planned.
Decimal 15 ongoing 416 tree.
I keep hitting overspeed, so I increased my vertical speed just to try to not get another overspeed warning. Not that it really matters. Won't take me long to get up there. Since I am getting there, I'm going to go ahead and set my throttle to cruise, and I'm pretty much right there already, so I'm just going to leave it. That is perfect. And here I am, just above the clouds. Everything's looking good.
Atlanta Center Envoy Tree 633 is at flight level 350, descending 10,000 feet. Envoy Tree 633 Atlanta Center, continue as planned. Cessna 649er climb and maintain flight level 260.
Climbed and maintained flight level 260 Cessna 649er.
Another notch of altitude. Try FLC mode this time, and it works for whatever reason. Oops. Looks like my camera feed may have frozen.
169er, do contact Atlanta Center on 135.55. Allegiant 412, contact Atlanta Center on 127.5.
Hmm.
Allegiant 412.
There we go. I don't have a webcam, so I just use my phone and an app called DroidCam to get my camera feed, but I think sometimes it's a free app, and I think it's sometimes a little glitchy, and with the phone it sometimes does some weird stuff. Yeah, so I'm just cruising. I really wish I could figure out what happened to my,
Cessna 649er, contact Atlanta Center on 127.5.
127.5 for Cessna 649er. Atlanta Center Cessna November 75 649er is climbing through flight level 200 for flight level 260. Cessna November 75 649er Atlanta Center, continue as planned.
I wish I could figure out why, because it's weird, because I can't even select my main display. I can only select my second display. So I can't, like, this is fine, but I'd like to be able to, share the charts. I mean, last night I did a stream where I had charts and maps and, all sorts of things up. And I'm not going to be able to do that tonight. I really don't know what happened there. It's frustrating. It's just beautiful out there. Thinking it probably is pretty cold.
Cessna 649er descend and maintain 16,000 feet. descend and maintain 16,000 feet Cessna 649er.
Okay. Go to about half throttle so that the autopilot will properly nose me down. Maybe down to a third throttle. Yeah, like I said, this is a pretty short flight, pretty much just a hop. So, not gonna have much time to look around or anything like that. But I will check out the drone camera briefly, just because I love to do that.
123.905 for Spirit Wings 845.
Endeavor Flight 060, contact Atlanta Center on 128.1. Delta 13903, contact Atlanta Center on 124.45.
128.1 Endeavor Flight 060.
124.45 for Delta 13903.
Not a whole lot to see.
Atlanta Center Delta 13903 is at flight level 250, descending 10,000 feet.
It's kind of nice the way the
Delta
ground is poking through.
13903 Atlanta Center, continue as planned.
Yeah, I'm quite sure these Microsoft Flight Simulator liveries are specifically designed to be just an ad for anyone who, you know, plays the game and takes screenshots or makes videos and puts them out there into the world. I'm surprised the game didn't ship with these included, to be honest. I do like the pattern. The pattern and the colors too are honestly really nice. Nice shot right there with the moon. The Wi-Fi bubble is a nice touch there. Can't quite read what's on that little panel there. My flight, I think, is the first menu item.
649er, you are flight 0 miles east. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 27 left approach by SLVAA transition. Clear to SLVAA. Cessna
Alright.
649er descend and maintain 7,000 feet.
Oops. Heading down to 7.
Descend and maintain 7,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 27 left approach via SLVAA transition. Cleared to SLVAA Cessna 649er.
Delta 456 contact Atlanta Center on 124.45.
Go ahead and throttle down to 1/3. Just so I can get down there.
124.45 for Delta 456.
Zoom in on my map a little. I could think about deploying speed brake right now. I'm only descending at 1,000 feet per minute, so I might go ahead and do that just so that I don't bust my altitude too bad.
American 709er, you are 29er miles northeast. Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 26 left approach via Geary transition. Cleared to Geary. Delta 1517 contact Atlanta Center on 124.45.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 26 left
That didn't
approach
really
via
get me
Geary
much.
transition. Cleared to Geary American 709er.
Might go a little harder on the speed brake.
Going to 124.45 Delta 1517.
It's just that tiny little guy right there on the middle of the wing.
American 1011 contact Atlanta Center on 128.0.
There we go. It's closer to 2,000.
American 1011.
So when I flew into Atlanta, it's been 2 weeks now.
American 709er, contact Atlanta Center on 128.0.
For whatever reason, my flight plan didn't have a Loc 1. So let me just look real quick. And I don't have it now.
Going to 128.0
But I think
American 709er.
it'll come up once I get closer. And I don't understand what about the flight computer does that. I wish I knew. But I think that is basically the issue. Because I know you're supposed to enter your destination runway somewhere, and I don't see that. No, that's the origin, that's the destination. Doesn't really say. Route data right here. Oh, do I click that? No. I just don't know how to use this thing. I wish I did. So hopefully I'll be able to do a localizer approach today. There's always people around Atlanta. It is the busiest airport in the world. At least that's my understanding. So I guess that makes sense. Okay, I'm coming down to my 7,000, so I'll go ahead and stow the speed brake and throttle up a little bit, maybe to 50 just to make sure I have enough juice to hold that altitude once I reach it.
Atlanta Center American 19er is out at flight level 350 for 10,000 feet.
American 19er Atlanta Center, continue as planned. Cessna 649er, contact Atlanta Center on 128.0.
Going to 128.0 Cessna 649er. Atlanta Center Cessna November 75 649er is at 9,100 feet, descending 7,000 feet.
Cessna November 75649er Atlanta Center, continue to Sylvat as planned. Altimeter 29er.9er2. Tower on 119er.3 American 709er.
Okay, 29902. I don't know if anybody saw that, but my airspeed indicator just went totally blank for a second there. So it says I'm at 19 degrees Celsius, so I should be totally fine icing wise, but I went ahead and turned on my pitot heat and my wing and engine anti-ice just in case. That could have just been a game glitch,
Cessna
but
649er descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
I don't really
Southern
want
Air
to
Tree
risk it.
60 for contact Atlanta Center on 134.5.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet Cessna 649er.
I'm failing to get down to even 7,000, so I'm going to go back to 1/3 throttle and hopefully get down to that 6,000.
604.
Cessna 649er descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet Cessna 649er.
So obviously flight level change was not getting me there, so I switched over to vertical speed mode, and that should help me punch down to where I need to be a little faster. I do actually see the airport through the clouds right there, so that's good. Let me see if my Loc 1 is gonna work for me. Nope, still not there.
Cessna 649er descend and maintain 4,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet Cessna 649er.
I am getting pretty close, so I'm going to go ahead and throttle down a little more
Landing gear.
and deploy gear and flaps just to keep me slow. I wish I could deploy my first level of flaps before I deployed gear, but this plane just will not let you do that. I don't know why. And I still don't have a Loc 1, so I'm not sure what the issue there is. I'm really stumped. It seems like sometimes it works and
Endeavor
sometimes it
49er
just
61
doesn't.
contact Atlanta Center on 127.05. Cessna 649er, you are 13 miles east of Atlanta. Contact Atlanta Tower on 123.85 when inbound.
Tower on 123.85 Cessna 649er. Atlanta Tower Cessna November 75 649er 12 miles east inbound ILS runway 27 left approach.
Cessna November 75 649er Atlanta Tower. Cleared ILS runway 27 left approach. Altimeter 29er.9er, 2 wind 275 at 20.
Cleared ILS runway 27 left approach Cessna 649er.
Still no look one. So, yeah, this actually has suddenly become a pretty IFR condition. I know the runway's kind of right in front of me somewhere. Man, I wish that would work. I just don't know, don't understand. I'm gonna hit another notch of flaps just because I know I'm pretty close at this point. Keep my throttle up so I don't descend too much.
American 1272 cleared to land runway 27 left. Follow the generic on final. Wind 275 at 20. Caution the generic landing runway 27 right.
Cleared to land runway 27 left American 1272.
Okay. So, looking at the airport map, 27 left is the very left one, so I am lined up very nicely right now. Still don't have the loc 1, so I can't do my localizer approach. I just have to... Oh! I guess I just have to do it manually. I would swear that alarm means that I'm within a localizer's range.
Cessna 649er cleared to land runway 27 left. Follow the generic on final. Wind 275 at 20. Caution the generic landing runway 27 right.
Okay, so I see the
Cleared to
generic
land
on
runway
final in front of
27
me.
left Cessna 649er.
Hopefully he can get out of the way. At some point I'm going to have to learn how to use these VOR things. I will be relying on Pappy for glide slope. My flaps are all the way down, my gear is down and locked. I'm definitely high, so I'm going to throttle back a little bit. I have a full payload, and my fuel is probably still
American
pretty much full.
1272, turn next taxiway.
So I am a bit heavy. And I am high, so I'm going to throttle back a little bit more. I do not see that generic anymore. I just realized I totally forgot to flip on my landing lights there. Not my best approach, but
American
without a
1272,
localizer,
turn
what
next
can you do?
taxiway.
500.
It's okay.
Stall.
I'm here.
Stall. Stall.
Alrighty, here we are. Welcome to Hartfield-Jackson International Airport. Tap the brakes a little so I can get this taxiway.
Cessna 649er, turn next taxiway. Cessna 649er, contact ground on 129er.25.
129er.25 for Cessna 649er.
Okay, flaps are coming up. Don't need those anymore. Lights, don't need landing lights, don't need strobe. Turn on taxi, nav and beacon are okay. And manually tune to ground because the co-pilot doesn't do that. I will request a gate
Ground
because
Cessna
I
November
came into a
75
gate when I flew here.
649er, request taxi to the gate.
Got these planes going by here.
Cessna November 75 649er, taxi to gate Alpha 1 via taxiway cross runway 9er left.
Taxiing to gate Alpha 1 via taxiway cross runway 9er, left Cessna 649er.
I can tell this guy's a real player because of how fast he's taxiing. I think this is just an AI though. There's another player right there, I think. Go ahead and turn off the flight director. Autopilot's off. Approach mode is off. I do have clearance to cross 9 left, even though that should be 27 right, I think. But since I just saw somebody land there, I'm going to go ahead and look with my eyes, and it is clear. As I cross, I can turn on my strobe and logo. It's taking the active to my left, so I'd better get up out of his way. Now that I've crossed, I can turn off my strobe and logo. I do have a guy ahead of me. Not sure who's going to yield to who there. Maybe looks like I'm actually turning left. Maybe before we reach one another. There's a nice takeoff going there. And he's off. Extremely fast rate of climb there. Looks like a nice plane there. I might get into the drone camera and check that out once I park. Don't recognize that livery. And this is going to be me right here. Gate A1. Parking brake is set. Go ahead and turn off the heat. And shut down the engines. Flaps are up, speed brake is up. Everything is good. Now that my engines are spooling down, I'll flip off my lights. Don't need those warnings. And that's it. I'm gonna turn the avionics off. It's gonna end my flight, but I'll just hit resume or continue because I wanted to check that plane out, and I'll turn off my battery. I kind of wish it didn't do that. I bet that's a setting that I could play with. Just kind of want to look around at this airport because it is so busy. There it is. Looks like a 777 to me, I think. Maybe that is just an AI. Take a look. No, that's the guy. Spotless Atoll 10. So that must be a custom livery there. That's cool. That guy's out of his mind. What is he doing? Oh my gosh. I couldn't tell if he was trying to land or take off. This guy is parked up, but his engines are still running. Not sure why. That guy's clearly just doing an air show for us. Looks like we got a few people stacked up here. Oh, hold up. Here's another 777 with the same livery. So I guess it's not totally unusual. those 747s rolling. I have not completed a quote-unquote real flight in a 747 yet. I've done a couple kind of test flights messing around with the autopilot, but I haven't done like a point A to point B flight yet. I think that would be pretty fun. I think next I'd like to do a couple in the A320. Still a little intimidated by just the size of the 747. Afraid of having issues on landing. More than a little bit of lag going on there. He can put up his gear anytime now. Doesn't seem to be worried about it though. I'm just gonna poke around over here where the general aviation parking appears to be. Actually, no. These are all jets over here. I'm not sure what this side is for. Generic. I'm not sure exactly what generic means. I'm thinking these are all like programmed flights. Delta, oh, that must be Delta Airlines. These must come from like the you know, the real world data or whatever, and that's why they have, it appears to be actual flight numbers, Delta Airlines 2234. Just take one more swoop over here. What RPA stands for. Republic Airlines is not a thing anymore, I don't think. Alrighty, well, I think that is enough for this flight. Pretty uneventful flight. I guess that's a good thing maybe, but I was pretty disappointed I didn't get to do a localizer approach. I really can't figure out why I don't have my Loc 1 setting in my flight computer. I don't know what's going on there. But I don't know how to enter it manually, so obviously there's just a disconnect between when I create the flight plan and what comes up in the computer. So maybe I'll try to do some research and figure that out for next time. Regardless, if you watched, I hope you enjoyed, and whether or not you enjoyed, I hope you have a wonderful evening. I am going to go ahead and see if I can raid someone. Not sure if you could hear that, but my cat is going crazy. Yeah, I think I'll raid you guys to EJSA again. It's just a channel I've been watching lately. Not exactly similar to what I do, I wouldn't say. But seems to be a good guy and somebody I enjoy watching. So yeah, I will go ahead and do that, and catch you next time.